What's up, playing Factorio? I've tried this intro 6,000 times, and I'm just going with it this time. I am playing Factorio. I'm playing with a few mods. I'm playing with Bob's mods, and then a few other little mods, but mainly Bob's mod. It adds a bunch of other different world gen, as pretty much everyone would know with Bob's mod. Bob's mod is popular. If you haven't heard of Bob's mods, then you probably heard of Ditech. They're basically the same thing. They both do the same concepts. And I am recording myself doing a let's play through Bob's mods because I got bored and I can do it, so I really don't care anymore. It's been a little bit since I've actually played the last time I've actually played, so I might be a bit rusty when it comes to finding things in the UI. And this video is going to be a little bit shorter than probably the rest that I'm going to do. Maybe not. Depends on how long I decide to make these episodes. They're probably not going to be too long. So this could be shorter episodes, what I do, or it could be about the same length. I haven't necessarily decided what length I want to do these episodes at. Right now I'm just collecting up the basic materials. This episode here, the reason why it might be shorter, because I have watched other YouTubers play this game and I've always found the beginning to be necessarily boring when it comes to that, because all it is the same things. It's just gathering resources, running around, make sure you got things to make things. It basically starts off very generically from everything else, and I find it generally boring. So this episode might be maybe shorter than any other episodes I am going to make. But yeah, this is what I mean. Like, you can literally just stand here I can be there for maybe an endless amount of time that I know nobody probably wants to ever watch. So I will try to make this episode as painless as possible for you guys, because I too know how much I hate watching people play this game. It just goes on so slowly. The beginning is such a slow and painstaking process. So, for anyone who has not actually seen Factorio or anything like it, I will give a brief rundown of the early game, because I may skip the early game between this episode and the next, just because I find it very tedious and boring to watch. But basically the main gist of Bob's mod is to make Factorio a lot more complicated. And the beginning isn't much different. The only difference is, like, there's different resources and whatnot. Like, in base Factorio, all you have is coal, iron, copper, and stone, and then oil to work with. There's no other resource or anything. In fact, Bob's mods adds in a lot more, such as tin, galena, which is basically your lead ore. It adds in quartz. It also adds in other things from like gold, bauxite, cobalt, a bunch of other random things I don't feel like listing on about. But, you know, and the reason why I'm playing is because Factorio was big at one point where I found many YouTubers were playing the game. But then after so long, they just stopped playing it. No one ever played it. And biggest difference with Bob's Mod in the beginning game, which is the only game time I would probably skip, would be beginning game. And that is with the circuits that are played. With circuits, normally in regular Factorio you just need iron and copper, but with Bob's Mod they actually start out with wood, and you need to do a bit of a process with the wood in order to make the circuits. So that can become quite a process, which I will probably do between episodes, but I will go over it in the next one. Because, you know, some people are probably never even seen this game before, let alone any of the mods that come with it. But again, I am playing with a good amount of mods installed. So if you were to get this game on your own, you'd have to get the mods at your own. What would be the proper word for it? Yeah, you'd have to go get the mods yourself with them. Just go search up some Bob's Mods and you should find it. Nothing too complicated. It's not a hard game to play. So yep, just the main things I plan on doing with this is creating a ginormous factory. Nothing else, really. You know, I plan on getting everything automated, everything that I can. Automated will be automated. I will automate in this game. But for now, like in any of the other videos you'll ever find of this game, the very beginning is always nitty gritty. There is pretty much no way of getting around it. Around this part, you have to go through it. And you have to constantly work at it. And basically you just always want to get your primary resources, which is iron, coal, copper, and stone going. Even in modded Factorio, those are always the things you're always going to want to start with. Those, because they are the essentials to the game, from power to basic gameplay. You need all of this. And I would have to say that I have to wrap it up for this episode. Let's see, not much was done, but Factorio is a very slow game to begin with. And I will see you all in the next episode.